XCR375 here, doing a video Sunday night right now. Just wanted to give a heads up to people out there and let them know also what's going on a bit. Is right now expect some type of travel restrictions inside the United States coming. I also expect uh, food deliveries to be pretty much escorted or have police officers and National Guard at food centers, and here's why. So I think I've gone over this in another video, but I'll go a little bit more in depth. So your average supermarket has roughly 2 days worth of supplies on hand. It's called the just-in-time delivery system. Then they call up, they call their warehouse and say, hey, we're out of toilet paper and we need this, we need that. That's why they got barcodes. It keeps track of their inventory automatically. So they call it up, a day or so later, a truck shows up and things get delivered. All right, well, that inventory that's in the warehouse is tracked, but it also gets depleted, and especially the way people have been buying food now, along with toilet paper, cleaning supplies, and so forth. That stuff gets depleted out of not only the supermarket's back storeroom, but also out of the warehouse. Well, once it gets depleted out of the warehouse, orders go out again to the manufacturer. And the manufacturer takes time to actually manufacture that stuff. For example, toilet paper might take them a week to produce enough to get stuff back into the warehouse. That's just producing it. Then you got packaging, and then it gets shipped out and transported. So with all these people rushing out and buying everything off the shelf, it's putting extra strain on the supply chain, which is already being strained because of China closing its borders and stuff and not shipping products. So I would expect to see additional strains on the supply chain, and also shelves in the supermarkets and markets and stuff like that not being restocked as fast. All right, got that out of the way, so I should be good for a little bit now. Anyway, so just be prepared for that. Also, make sure that your gas tanks, whether you drive a diesel or a truck, car, or whatever, make sure your vehicles are fueled up. Make sure they're topped off. If you use a quarter of a tank, go top it off. Keep your gas topped off. So, at the same time, if you can get a hold of it, there's also been runs on ammo. It's just kind of like it goes with toilet paper and hand sanitizer in this crazy times. Ammunition, there's runs on ammunition right now. People are going nuts. My friend that I went to the range with on Friday, he went to Sportsman's Warehouse where I'm at, and they would only allow him to buy uh, 2 boxes of each, 100 rounds of each, because people are buying everything up. They're going nuts. And I think the prepared mind, John over there, is right. We as preppers need to look down the road. So, and see what's coming in the future. I knew this coronavirus or cerveza bug, Wuhan cerveza bug, was going to be a problem when I was coming back from my trip from Thailand back in late January. I got an email from the Bangkok embassy stating, hey, don't travel to these countries, wear a mask if you're traveling through these countries. Oh, that sets off a red flag in my mind. So when my trip had 2 days left, my thought was like, man, I sure am glad I'm heading back to the States in 48 hours. Because I knew in a few weeks this Wuhan cerveza bug was going to be a shitstorm. And sure enough, when I got back a week later, all hell broke out in China with the Wuhan cerveza bug. So don't be surprised if travel restrictions are implemented domestically between states, or your state starts implementing stuff. California has already sent out its marching orders to bars and restaurants and cafes and stuff to close down to help prevent the spread of this. Help prevent the spread of this Wuhan cerveza bug. So it's coming. Lockdowns are coming to these cities. So if you got a place that you can go outside of the city and stay away from the people, probably be a good idea. If you have the option to work from home outside of the city, and you got an internet connection, good idea to go work from there. As one of my friends said, he's not so much worried about the Wuhan cerveza bug, but he's more worried about the two-legged critters, especially in the big cities that have a lot of gangs and stuff like that, and people are going to go nuts. So, as for, like I said, keep your vehicle topped off with fuel. If you need to make some purchases on a credit card, that's up to you. Eventually this will burn itself out. Eventually it's going to go away. It did in 1918. But they had a couple rounds of it. It was 1917 through like late 1918 when the Spanish flu hit. So what I can say is get prepared. If you haven't been preparing right now, do what you can. Expect delays in supply chain. Expect not to be allowed to travel very far. If you're one of the guys that has to go into work because you're deemed necessary personnel, expect that. Expect to see police, National Guard at supermarkets, Walmarts, and Costco's and stuff like that, due to the fact that there will be delays for food supplies getting to the markets. People go crazy, people go nuts when they can't get food. They freak out, especially if they've got kids. They do crazy shit. So be prepared up here for craziness from people. If you don't think people will do that, then you're mistaken. People will. So you need to be prepared up here. Don't let things surprise you. Think about your situations. Think about scenarios where, if this person tries to accost me in the parking lot to get my toilet paper, what am I going to do? Type of deal. Think about that stuff. Fortunately, I'm in a state where it's very gun friendly, and I don't go outside the house unarmed at all. I always have access to a firearm, just because these times are going to get crazy, and people really don't realize that yet. And a lot of people are still in denial. So be prepared and expect the unexpected. You see videos out there, people are arguing and fighting in the aisles over a pack of toilet paper. I saw it today in a video where a lady had 6 packs of toilet paper in her cart, and she was going for the 7th pack on the shelf, and an elderly lady, grabbed the last pack of toilet paper on the shelf, and she didn't have anything in her cart or anything like that, and the younger lady started to pull the package of toilet paper away from her. It's like people are going nuts. So, and over in the UK, you've got people still meeting in bars and stuff like that, and spreading the crud around, and it's just people are in denial. They're going to have a very rude awakening. So, and I'll put some links down below for you guys to go and read up on this stuff. So be prepared for the unprepared. Be prepared for the unexpected. Keep your vehicles topped off. Get yourself ammunition if you need it. Stay sharp. Know who and what is around you. Make sure you have a way out of your area if you need to get out. Because if the herd or hordes come into your area like locusts and start raiding stuff, can you get out? You know, talk to your group members, get things situated with them, and it's definitely time to implement your plans. Know your area, know your radius, 5 miles out, 10 miles out. Hey, does that church down there have a tower that we can post somebody on a radio to radio in if they see people moving in from a certain area? So, time to activate your plans because we are in shit hits the fan scenario right now. We are definitely in SHTF. Anyway, I wanted to get this quick video out. Like I said, there will probably be announcements this week of limited travel. And probably something to the effect of, if you don't need to travel, don't travel. And if you need to travel from one state to the next state, try to limit your contact with people. And if you don't need to travel state to state, don't, to help prevent the spread of this Wuhan cerveza bug. So don't be surprised if that comes through. Anyway, XCR 375 out. Stay frosty.